Want to boost your confidence and self-esteem? Clear your throat chakra on the mat to free up your pathways to communication. Often we can feel stifled in our efforts to communicate how we're feeling or to raise our voice to support others and remain in line with our own integrity. This can mean we're being held back or there's an imbalance of the throat chakra, Vishudi. I'm Sherlock and am so grateful to be guiding you through today's class. Before we get started with the flow, if you're already finding value in this video, give the like button some love and be sure to subscribe if you're new. I'd really appreciate it. These practices can build confidence and self-esteem and really help to improve symptoms of anxiety and depression as well. So come find your voice as we breathe into the heart and throat. Let's meet on the mat. Beginning this practice with Brahmari, a breathing technique called humming bee. So we bring the teeth so they're slightly apart and we gently press the tragus, the little triangular part of the ear, in to close off the ears. We take the gaze in and up toward the midpoint between the brow, toward the third eye, or maybe through the center of the brain. As we inhale, reach up through the crown, fill the belly, fill the chest. And as we exhale, we hum, creating a slow vibration and sending that vibration to the center of the brain or the third eye center. So let's begin. Inhale. Take a deep inhale. Release the hands to the knees. Eyes can remain closed. And just observe the body. Observe the mind. Notice if the body feels calmer. Any areas of tension might feel a little bit of release. Perhaps you notice the mind is quieter. There's a little less chatter, a little less talk happening up there. There's a much more focus. Gently flutter the eyelids open Take an inhale, sweep the arms overhead, draw the hands to heart center as you exhale. 2 more times. Inhale, open up through the heart, sweep the arms overhead, bring the hands to meet. Exhale, release the hands to heart center. Inhale, sweeping the arms out and up, opening through the heart, through the throat, bringing the hands to heart center as you exhale. Inhale now, sweep the arms overhead, rotate the torso from the navel to the right, and bring the left hand to rest on the outside of the right knee. The right hand can come just behind the body, and we're just coming into a gentle twist. Inhale, allow the breath to breathe into the seat of the spine, opening up through the heart, creating space. And as we exhale, navel draws to spine. Maybe you're able to find a little more leverage, a little more twist. One more full breath. Inhale, come back to center. Sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, rotate the torso to the left from the navel. Right hand to the outside of the knee. Left arm to the back of the mat behind you. Breathe in as the breath blossoms from the pelvic floor through the twist, creating balance, centering, drawing the breath to the collarbone, opening up through the throat. Exhale. Find strength and stability as the navel draws toward the spine. The body softens a little further into the twist. Inhale, come back to center. Come to find a supine position, soles of the feet planted on the earth, knees are pointing to the sky. We'll do a dynamic bridge. Just a few here. Press into the palms. Press into the soles of the feet. I was going to say palms of the feet. Press into the soles of the feet. Lift the hips, lift the arms, and for a count of 6, sweep the arms overhead, hips remain in the sky. For a count of 6, let's return the arms, slow and meditative, really finding that connection of the breath with the body and both with the mind. 2 more times. Inhale, take it nice and slow. Exhale. Inhale, lift the hips, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, bring the arms back slowly for a count of 6 to meet the hips. And the arms and the hips release to the earth. Take a little moment here. Find a little release through the low back as it melts into the earth. Lift to the shins, bring the hands behind the thighs. Give yourself a little bit of a rock. Then come to a seated position. Bring the soles of the feet to meet. Come into Baddha Konasana. Bring the soles of the feet to meet. You can bring the thumbs to the insides of the arches of the feet. Ground down through the sit bones. We're going to lift up through the crown, and as we exhale, we'll hinge at the hips and we'll just lean forward. Now your position might have the heels a little closer to the groin, and you might be in a slightly more open body. Maybe your heels are a little further away, and maybe you might want to bring some blocks just to rest under the knees, just to give you a little bit of support, because it can be quite a challenge to open up through the groin with this posture. Inhale, Find extension through the spine. Reach out through the crown. Exhale, hinge at the hips. Fold forward to your edge. If you find you start to round, come back out of the posture, create that nice long spine. And when you start to fold in, where you start to round is where your edge is. That's where you need to remain. So you might be up here, and that's perfectly fine. You're just in a slightly tighter body. And if you're able to fold forward with a nice long spine, bring the elbows to the inside of the knees. Pressing down, opening up through the groin just that little further. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, soften. One more breath. Inhale, lift the torso. Come back to a seated position. Just grasp hold of underneath the knees. Bring them to meet. Lean the hands back. Lower the knees to the right. Come back to center on the exhale. Inhale, lower the knees to the left. Just a little breather and counter pose there for our Baddha Konasana. Good. Roll to your knees. Find a neutral tabletop position. Knees and feet are about hips width apart. Shoulders are over the wrist, tuck the toes. Sweep the tail to the sky. Ardha Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Internally rotate the elbows toward each other, opening up through the chest. Allow the chest to fall closer to the thighs as you lift the tail up and back. Shoulder blades draw down the back, navel engages or engage in the core. Micro bending the knees and draw the heels toward the mat. And it doesn't matter if they don't touch, we're just energetically drawing them that way, that direction. One more breath as the inhale blooms and blossoms from the pelvic floor through to the collarbone. Exhale, navel draws to spine. Inhale, gazes to the top of the mat. Slowly walk the feet between the hands. Bring the hands to the shins, find a flat back, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands to heart center, Samastiti. We're just going to wake the body up a little bit here. Lower the hands, inhale, sweep the arms overhead, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, draw the hands to the shins, find a flat back. Nice and long from the crown through to the tail. Exhale, frame the front feet, step back into plank, whole body activation. Lower down, knees, chest, chin, or draw the elbows to the side body, lower down, halfway, chaturanga. Come to the tops of the feet. Push through the palms, upward facing dog. Take an inhale. Open up through the chest, thighs are away from the mat. Shoulder blades melt down the back, creating a nice opening through the heart space. Exhale, tuck the toes, sweep the tail to the sky, downward facing dog. Inhale, step forward, fold forward, Uttanasana. Take another inhale, bring the hands to the shins, find a flat back, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead, Urdhva Hastasana, slight bend in the upper back. Exhale, draw the hands to heart center, Samastiti. Bend into the knees, bring the seat to the earth, bring the back to the mat. We'll come back to our bridge. Press into the soles of the feet, lift up through the hips so there's a slight engagement of the glutes, we're not clenching them together. Gently tuck the shoulder blades underneath the chest. Lift up through the hips. Allow the breath to open up through the heart. Creating space through the whole front body. And strength through the back body. One more full breath here. Fill the pelvic bowl, fill the belly, fill the chest, fill the collarbone. Exhale, navel draws to spine. Gently untuck the shoulder blades. Lower the back, lower the lower back. Coming back to the mat. Coming into our Matsayasana, so it's our fish pose. Option here to keep the knees bent, so knees are pointing to the sky. Just lift the hips, tuck the hands underneath the buttocks, so we're putting, so the palms are facing the earth, hands are underneath the buttocks. Push into the elbows and gently tuck the shoulder blades underneath the chest. Maybe you're shifting the elbows a little closer toward each other, so they're coming underneath the low back. Now, as we come into fish pose, we're going to engage the core, press into the elbows, lift the chest, lower the head and neck, so allow the head and neck to hang, and the crown comes to meet the mat. There's not a lot of pressure on the head and neck. Most of it's being supported by the elbows and the core. If you want to go a little further, extend the legs out long. Point the toes. Take the breath from the base of the spine into the throat. Allow the breath to soften the body, but maintain the integrity of the cervical spine. So drawing those shoulder blades toward each other to open up through the chest and create a nice support through the back. Just 2 more breaths here. Full Agni Raj breath from the base through to the collarbone, opening up through the throat. On the next inhale, press into the elbows, lift the head and neck, allow the shoulder blades to come to the mat. Bring the soles of the feet to the mat, lift the hips, gently move the hands out from underneath and bring the arms to rest by the body. Take 1 full breath here, deep, deep into the belly. Maybe you feel a little more open through the heart and the throat now. Noticing that your voice is valuable. Your message has meaning. And what you have to say is needed in this world. Bring the knees to the chest, hands behind the thighs. Just rock forward and back, coming up to a seat. Coming into Gomukhasana, our cow face pose. So we're going to stack the knees over the top of each other. Bringing the right heel to the outside of the left thigh and the left heel to the outside of the right thigh. You might be super flexible and it might be very lined up, and you might be a little bit tight, so you might be a little bit off to the edge. Just go to where your body allows. As you inhale, sweep the arms out. Bring the right arm underneath the left. Interlace the wrists. Bring the palms to meet. Lift the elbows to shoulder height. Draw the thumbs away from the face. Just 3 breaths here on this side. We're opening up through the back of the heart now, through the back of the neck. giving us every opportunity to receive and every opportunity to offer what we have to say, our message to the world. As we inhale, we lift up through the spine, extending through the crown. And as we exhale, navel draws to spine, shoulder blades melt down the back. Gently unravel from the twist. Lean into the hands behind. Swap the knees around. So we're stacking the left knee over the right this time. Sit bones are grounded. Reaching up, extending through the crown. Sweep the arms out. Bring the left arm underneath the right this time. Interlace the wrists. Bring the palms to meet. Lift the elbows to shoulder height. Draw the thumbs away from the nose, away from the face. We're opening up through the entire body with this posture. If you're unable to bring the palms to meet, that's okay. Just allow the backs of the hands to meet, going to where your body allows. As you inhale, breathe and create space through the back of the heart, through the hip flexors. And as you exhale, give the body permission to soften. One more breath. Inhale, unravel from the twist. Bring the soles of the feet to the mat. Lower the back to the mat. Take the feet to about the width of the mat or hips width. Just wherever's most comfortable for you. Cactus the arms. As you inhale, allow the knees to fall to the sides of the mat. Allow the knees to fall to the right side of the mat. Good. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, lower to the left. Just a nice opening here for the hip flexors on either side. And a little bit of a gentle counter pose for the intense back opening we just did there. Just a couple more times, maybe the gaze goes in the opposite direction to the knees. Inhale back to center. Exhale over to the left. Come back to center. Extend the legs out long. Feet can be to about the width of the mat. Allow them to fall to the sides of the mat. Rest the arms beside the body and slightly away, allowing room for the pits to breathe. Chuck the shoulder blades underneath the chest. Gently draw the chin away from the chest, allowing room and integrity for the natural curve of the spine. Let go of any tension in the jaw. Release any tension in the brow. Allow the tongue to fall away from the roof of the mouth. Notice as the inhale caresses the nasal passage, gently travels past the throat into the body. And the exhale skims past the throat through the nasal passage on the exhale. Scan through the body for any remaining pockets of tension and attend to them now. Give them permission to release and surrender into the earth. Become aware of your breath. Recognize the enlivening inhale as it sends life force energy throughout the body. And the exhale, providing sweet release from any tension or any thoughts that might hold us back. Start to wriggle the fingers and the toes, finding movement in the body. Sway the head from side to side. Roll to your most comfortable side now. Push through your free palm. Come to find a comfortable seat. Eyes remain closed. Bring your attention back to your throat. Inside all of us is a message for the world. And when we say message for the world, it doesn't necessarily mean that it has to get to everybody. That message might be for your family, might be for your friends, it might be for your co-workers. But know that your message is worthy and what you have to say matters. Inhale, take a deep breath, sweep the arms overhead, drink in the power of your practice. Cup the energy in the palms of your hands. Exhale, draw the hands to heart center. The light in me sees and honors the light in you. Namaste. Thank you for joining me for this practice today, and thank yourself for coming to the mat. I hope that from that practice you found a little bit of calm and serenity, but also a little bit of empowerment to begin opening through the heart and allowing yourself to use your voice, send your message, find whatever way that resonates with you to share that with the people around you or the world. If you want to continue on in this blissed out state, maybe continue to open the mind and the throat, I recommend this meditation here, and keep making magic in this world from your space at your own pace. Namaste.